I found a USB drive in my mailbox. It had a video of me sleeping.
Today, we're getting into something pretty unsettling. It's a personal story, sourced from an online forum, that starts really simply. Mundane even. Checking the mail.
Right, something we all do. But for this person, it turned into something else entirely, like straight out of a thriller.
Exactly. We're going to unpack how this discovery happened and the fear that came with it.
And it's about how fast that feeling of safety can just vanish. This person, a 29-year-old UX designer living alone upstate New York, finds this tiny silver USB drive just sitting in their communal mailbox.
No label, no envelope.
Nothing, just the drive itself, sort of sitting there.
Okay, so finding that, what's the first reaction? Is it just confusion or actual fear? Because apparently they just tossed it aside at first.
Yeah, for like a day and a half.
Yeah.
Then, curiosity. It's a powerful thing.
It really is. So they decided to plug it in. But carefully, right, on an old Chromebook.
Exactly. An old machine, nothing critical on it, which is smart, I mean.
Definitely smart. Who actually plugs in random USBs these days? That takes guts. Or maybe, like you said, just overwhelming curiosity.
Well, this time, curiosity led straight to horror. There was one file, a video file.
And the video was?
It was 3 minutes long. And it showed them sleeping in their own bed.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. They apparently screamed. The cat bolted out of the room. Just immediate shock.
I can only imagine. And the camera angle was specific, wasn't it? That was key.
Super unnerving. It wasn't like from a laptop on a desk or something. It was high up.
High up.
Elevated from a corner of the ceiling. Like it was mounted there.
That they didn't own any cameras, no security system, nothing.
Nope, cameras at all. So, and where was it hidden?
That's the terrifying question. So what did they do next? Just tear the place apart?
Pretty much. A frantic, sleepless night. Pulling books off shelves, checking air vents, even prying open the smoke detector. Looking for anything. Found nothing. Absolutely nothing. Think about that. Something saw you, recorded you in your most private space, and it's completely invisible.
Chilling. So the police got involved.
Yeah. The next day, took the drive down to the station. The desk officer was maybe a little skeptical at first.
He can kind of see why, maybe. Sounds almost too strange to be real.
Right. Until he watched the video. Then his whole demeanor changed. They took it very seriously then.
Good.
The detective was assigned. They did a full sweep of the apartment, checked for drilled holes from neighbors' places too.
And still nothing. No camera found.
Still nothing, which just deepens the mystery,
So could it have been faked somehow? Like projected? Is that even feasible?
It's a thought, but the details described later, like the camera moving slightly. That points much more strongly to a physical device. Someone incredibly careful about hiding it.
Okay, so no camera found. What about leads? Did anyone else have access recently? Maintenance?
That was the other thing. No one had been over. But then, a possible connection. The apartment next door, Unit 3B, it had renovations done about 2 weeks before this happened.
Renovations mean workers, maybe unfamiliar people.
Exactly. Lots of noise hammering, drilling. And they remembered seeing a generic white van outside. Often. Unmarked.
Okay, that sounds like a lead. Did they tell the detective?
Immediately. Pass that information straight on.
But the story doesn't quite end there, does it? Even with the police involved.
No, the unease was still there. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, something else happened just a couple of nights ago.
What was that?
They heard a TV on. Inside Unit 3B. The supposedly empty, under-renovation apartment next door.
Wait, empty. So who would be watching TV?
Exactly. Another detail reported straight to the detective.
Okay, this keeps getting creepier. And then they rewatched the video. I don't know if I could do that.
They forced themselves to see if they missed anything. The video itself was just them sleeping. Nothing overtly dramatic happens in the frame. But right near the end, the camera moves. Just a tiny bit. Like it was being adjusted slightly.
Adjusted while recording.
Seems like it. And then, even worse maybe, a faint shadow flickered across the bottom edge of the video. Like a person's shadow.
Oh no. That confirms it then. It wasn't just surveillance.
It confirms the intent.
Yeah.
They wanted the person to find the drive. They wanted them to know they were watched.
That's a different level of violation. It's not just spying. It's psychological. It's meant to terrify.
Absolutely. It turns the hidden threat into this constant, known fear. It's psychological warfare almost.
So how are they coping now?
Taking every precaution you can imagine. Sleeping with the lights on, jamming a chair in the bedroom door handle. They bought a motion-activated camera for the bedroom now, ironically.
Can't blame them. And looking to move, I assume.
Definitely. Actively searching for a new place. But living with that awful question hanging over them. Is the watcher still around? Still somehow watching?
It's a horrible situation. And it really makes you think about how fragile that sense of security is, even in your own home.
Especially with technology, making things like this easier, maybe harder to trace sometimes.
It really does make you pause, doesn't it? Just makes you wonder. What seemingly normal thing in your day could suddenly turn terrifying?
My neighbor screamed that I snore too loud, so I bought a speaker and played chainsaw sounds every night.
It's this amazing story from Reddit all about neighbors, noise, and some very creative revenge.
It really escalated, didn't it?
It did. So our mission today is to unpack how this small issue, basically snoring, turned into this unconventional audio war.
And what it tells us about living close together, boundaries, communication, or maybe the lack of it.
Exactly. And the solutions people come up with when things get tense. Okay, let's set the scene.
Right.
We're in Portland, an apartment building, and crucially, thin drywall. You know the type.
Oh, yeah. You hear everything.
Pretty much. And our user describes himself as a regular guy, but admits his snoring is epic. His words, a blender full of gravel into a leaf blower.
That's quite a description, and what's fascinating is how the conflict just ignited. After 2 quiet months, suddenly, 3.42 in the morning, bang on the wall.
Not a polite knock?
No. Shouting, shut the hell up, just out of nowhere. Aggressive.
So the user's first reaction, surprisingly polite actually.
Yeah.
He baked box brownies, left a note, apologized, offered solutions, nasal strips, maybe even getting checked for a CPAP machine.
Wow. Brownies. You'd think that would, de-escalate things. A peace offering.
You really would hope so, right?
But it didn't. And this is where it gets interesting, that point where an accident, the snoring, becomes perceived as like a personal attack.
Yeah, the neighbor just kept going.
Kept going. Nightly wall banging, then pounding on the user's front door, middle of the night again, 3:30 a.m.
Wow.
Calling the snoring harassment, threatening to call the landlord.
Okay, so the brownies were officially rejected.
Pretty much. And that rejection of, a good faith effort, that often lights the fuse.
That seems to be what happened here. Our user said something just snapped.
The breaking point.
Yeah, he said his inner child, the bratty 12-year-old, took over. He felt pushed and decided it was war.
Understandable, maybe, when you feel attacked like that.
So the audio warfare begins. Phase 1.
Okay, what was the opening salvo?
A Bluetooth speaker placed right against that shared wall, playing an 8-hour YouTube loop. Get this. Chainsaw in forest with occasional cackling witch.
Oh my goodness. Subtle.
Played on low volume, though. Specifically timed for 3 a.m. Just enough to annoy.
Right, targeted. So how did the neighbor respond to that?
With a note slipped under the door. It said, "You're mentally unwell. Seek help."
Ouch. Okay, that probably didn't help matters.
Not at all. That just made the user decide to escalate things further.
You can almost see the strategy forming, can't you? This moves beyond simple annoyance now.
Totally. He upped his game, programmed a whole playlist, called it Industrial Chaos.
Industrial chaos? What does that involve?
Chainsaws, haunted forest sounds, distant screaming, apparently Home Depot tool noises.
Tool noises.
And Gregorian chanting, all mixed together.
Wow. Eclectic. And when was this played?
From 3:30 a.m. for 6 hours straight.
And how did the user sleep through that?
Counter strategy. Earplugs and a white noise machine for himself.
Right, protecting his own peace while waging war. Okay, so eventually the landlord has to get involved, surely.
Yep. Landlord sends an email. 3B filed a formal complaint, the term used. Psychological audio warfare.
That's quite the phrase. Did the user fess up?
Completely honest. Explained everything, even sent screenshots of the neighbor's note, audio files. The works.
Huh. Full transparency.
The landlord's response was, interesting, just a reminder about quiet hours. 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
The rules. A subtle warning, perhaps?
Maybe, but it gave the user an idea, a loophole.
Oh, so what did this reveal about, bending the rules?
Well, he adapted, right? Stuck to the letter of the law, if not the spirit.
How so?
He switched tactics, found a new audio track, Whispers from the Attic, described as low, murmuring, unintelligible voices.
Creepy.
And played it precisely from 9:59 p.m. to 7:01 a.m.
So never technically breaking the quiet hours rule.
Yep.
Clever. Very petty, but clever.
Extremely petty. And the result, the grand finale.
The door.
3B moved out.
Wow. Okay, so Victory.
It's victory. And the new tenant, described as a super chill Gen Z student, couldn't hear the snoring at all. Said any faint noise just sounded like traffic.
Huh. Amazing. So what's the takeaway here for you listening?
Well, our user summed it up pretty bluntly. Sometimes you fight fire with fire. Other times you fight snoring with chainsaws.
Practical advice, I guess.
And he added, earplugs are cheaper than lawsuits. Solid point.
It really makes you think, though. How much does our own tolerance, our perception of boundaries, maybe even generational views on noise, affect these kinds of conflicts?
Yeah, like what's your personal threshold? How far would you go before resorting to, well, maybe not chainsaws, but your own version of petty revenge when you feel pushed? Something to consider.
They kicked me off the team for no reason. I made my own team, and we crushed them in the finals.
We're looking at something pretty fascinating. A story from Reddit, actually, about an adult dodgeball league.
Right, but it's more than just dodgeball. It's about how getting slighted, feeling dismissed can trigger this huge competitive comeback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Our mission today is to sort of unpack that psychology. The scorned underdog, how feeling unfairly treated can ignite this incredible drive.
And lead to sometimes really unexpected wins and these super strong team bonds, what some call adaptive revenge. It's quite a thing.
Okay, let's get into it. The scene is Austin. There's this adult dodgeball league. It's co-ed, pretty competitive.
Mm-hmm. You've got people in their late 20s, maybe mid-30s, trying to recapture some youth, maybe.
Totally. And our narrator was this reliable player, the glue guy, they called him, for a team named Ball Me Maybe. Great name.
Yeah. He was there for 3 seasons. Good team chemistry, apparently.
And that's important, right? That kind of player, the utility player, often holds things together in ways people don't always see.
Absolutely. They're like the social glue, essential for cohesion, not just, the scoreboard, the foundation.
So imagine the surprise. 2 weeks before the new season starts, narrator gets a text from Michelle, the captain.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. It just says, hey, just wanted to let you know we're making some changes to the roster this season. Gonna try a new dynamic. Thanks for playing with us.
Wow. That's it.
That's it. No heads up, no real reason given, just gone. The narrator felt completely ghosted.
Ugh. And it wasn't even really about getting cut, was it? It was how it happened.
Exactly. The narrator said the sting was the cowardice of it. That impersonal handling, like being treated like a bad Wi-Fi signal.
Oof. Yeah, that's a uniquely modern kind of awful, isn't it? That
Yeah.
abrupt digital brush off.
Right. But that feeling, that unfairness, it lit a fire.
It often does. It taps into this deep need to prove your worth, especially when you feel just discarded like that.
So what happens? Immediate reaction. That same night, the narrator rage registered a new team.
Love that term, rage registered.
And the name. Dodgy Bastards. Bold move.
Okay. Setting a tone.
And here's where it gets really good. Turns out, Michelle had done the same thing, the same impersonal text to 2 other players, Jenna and Leo.
No way.
Yep. So they hear about the new team, and they're instantly in. They had the same story.
So the core of the team is built on this shared grievance. Interesting.
Then they get new recruits. Carla, she's an ex-D1 volleyball player, apparently had terrifying biceps.
Okay, bringing some serious power.
And the narrator's younger brother, Ryan, described as freakishly athletic. He just joined for beer and violence, his words.
Huh. So you've got this mix, shared resentment plus some real athletic talent, a crew with something to prove.
Maybe recruits quote-unquote elite players. They're going for the gold, clearly.
Right. Stacking the deck, maybe?
But dodgy bastards, fueled by being dismissed, they develop this amazing synergy, this genuine connection.
That shared adversity can be a powerful bonding agent. Creates that us against them feeling.
And it worked. By week 5, dodgy bastards are undefeated. Carla's spikes were feared. Jenna was dodging like she was in the Matrix. And Ryan, he made this insane behind-the-back catch that even got featured on the league's Instagram.
Nice. So they're making waves. The underdogs are biting back.
You bet. So the tension builds until the regular season finale. Guess who they play?
Gotta be Ball Me, maybe.
Of course. Narrator makes eye contact with Michelle across the court. Game on. It was intense.
I can imagine.
Some highlights. Our narrator makes this full-body diving catch to get Michelle out on one throw. Jenna takes out their MVP. Ryan was just a force. A one-man wrecking crew.
Sounds epic.
Dodgy bastards barely won. Super close game. But afterwards, our narrator walks up to Michelle and just says, perfectly timed, must be the new dynamic.
Ooh, nice callback. That's cold. And satisfying, I bet.
But wait, it gets better. The universe, or maybe the league commissioner, had more planned.
What? How?
The league changed the playoff format that year. And guess what the championship final ended up being?
Don't tell me.
Dodgy bastards versus Ball Me Maybe. The rematch. Narrator called it 2 on the nose.
Wow. Okay, you couldn't write this stuff. The perfect setup for revenge or vindication.
The final was packed. People actually wore homemade rivalry shirts, like Dodgy Bastards versus Ball Me Maybe, Civil War.
People got invested. Love it.
The game itself was brutal. Hard throws, lots of trash talk. Michelle apparently played incredibly well.
Pushing back.
But it all came down to the very last round, one-on-one, our narrator versus Michelle.
No. The ultimate showdown.
Yep. Michelle throws, narrator dodges, narrator throws,
Yeah.
Michelle catches it.
Ooh. So Balmy maybe wins.
But wait, she caught it, but she fumbled the landing, stumbled, dropped the ball. The ref saw it. Whistle blows. Call is out.
You're kidding. Drop the ball.
Drop the ball. Dodgy bastards win the championship.
Oh, my God. The drama. What was the reaction?
Silence for like half a second, and then just explosion, and the team went nuts. Narrator gets lifted up like Rudy. Someone pours a White Claw over their head.
The ceremonial White Claw shower.
And Ryan, the brother, just yells, "Death to betrayers," at the top of his lungs.
Keeping it subtle, Ryan.
After all the chaos, high fives, pictures with the cheesy trophy, Michelle walks over.
Okay, what does she say now?
She just looks at the narrator and says, kind of resigned, "You really held on to that grudge, huh?"
And the response?
Perfection. Narrator just smiles and says, "Guess it was just the right dynamic."
Boom. Mic drop. That's incredible. They must have celebrated hard.
Oh, yeah. Free drinks. We are the champions on the jukebox. The whole 9 yards.
And the team? Did they stick together?
That's the kicker. A year later, Dodgy Bastards are still playing, still together. Narrator says the vibes are unmatched.
Wow. So that initial slight, being underestimated, it really did forge something strong and lasting.
Exactly. It just shows how that feeling, that reactive agency, as you called it, can totally change things.
Yeah, it's less about the revenge, maybe, and more about unlocking potential you didn't know was there, sparked by that negative event, turning it into fuel.
Which really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It leaves us with this question for you listening. What seemingly negative experience, what moment of being underestimated or dismissed in your own life could actually be the spark, the catalyst for your next great new dynamic? Something to ponder.
My wife cheated on me in VRChat and said it didn't count.
This is where we take your sources, the stories you send us, and really dig into them.
Extracting those key nuggets of knowledge.
Exactly. And we're plunging into a Reddit story. It really paints a picture of, well, the very blurry lines between our digital lives and, our real world relationships.
It's quite a story.
Yeah, it's compelling. And honestly, a bit unsettling, too. It comes from a user, You Pixelated Heartache, over on the Irrelationships thread.
Right.
And it details this pretty intense marital conflict. It all stems from his wife's really immersive experience in virtual reality, specifically VRChat.
And our mission here really is to unpack the emotional side of this. We're looking at how cheating and intimacy are being redefined, in this age of the metaverse.
These interconnected virtual worlds.
Yeah, what actually happens when these virtual connections start feeling intensely real? That's the core question.
Okay, so let's get into it. The listener, he's 36, married almost 8 years to his wife, who's 34. He describes their relationship as pretty low drama, generally.
Right, stable.
But then the pandemic hit. And like for a lot of people, they sort of drifted into different hobbies. He got into running, cooking.
Things you do in the physical world.
Exactly. She, on the other hand, dove headfirst into VR.
And what's really striking is how fast it all happened. It sounds like it started pretty innocently back in 2021. An Oculus headset just for Beat Saber.
Yeah, the rhythm game. Lots of people got into that.
But it snowballed quickly. Became, as he put it, full-blown headset on for hours sessions. She moved into social VR spaces like Rec Room, then VRChat, custom avatars, virtual nightclubs. The works.
And the time commitment.
Alarming. By mid-2022, he says she was spending like 25 to 30 hours a week just in VRChat.
Wow. That's significant. And naturally, he started getting concerned.
You would, wouldn't you?
He tried talking to her, asking if maybe it was, escapism, dealing with pandemic stress.
But she brushed it off.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Always insisted it was just connecting, just having fun. But the truth, well, that came out last November.
And the way it came out, it's almost cinematic, isn't it? He came home early. He'd been visiting his dad, who was sick.
Right.
Walks into the living room, and there she is, headset on, physically swaying, whispering, I missed you too, baby.
Oof. Talk about walking in on something.
Exactly. And she then admitted it. She had a relationship in VRChat. Someone named KAI, apparently from Denmark. She called him her VR partner.
Her VR partner. Okay.
Yeah.
So the conflict starts right there. For him, this is cheating. End of story.
But for her,
She completely denied it, famously stating, it's not physical, it's just role play. It's not real. She even tried to compare it to reading, like spicy fan fiction or watching porn.
and that's the crux of it, isn't it? This fundamental disagreement about what constitutes infidelity in a virtual space. He felt the emotional connection was the betrayal.
Definitely. He actually did some digging, looked into VRChat more.
And found?
Well, he found out there were entire clubs,
Yeah.
basically dedicated to NSFW content.
Nah.
ERP, erotic role play, is a big thing, apparently. Full body tracking.
Which makes the avatars mimic real movements.
Precisely. He discovered she and this KAI person were essentially e-dating in 3D. They were dancing together virtually, cuddling, whispering things,
Wait, nothings.
and performing what he called virtual sex, using that full body miming. Their avatars mirroring intimate actions.
So even without physical touch in the real world, the performance of intimacy was there digitally.
Right. So where does this leave them? I mean, this is a huge breach.
It is. They apparently talked about therapy, setting boundaries,
Yeah.
No more private virtual worlds, definitely no ERP, full transparency about who she talks to.
But the trust.
It's deeply fractured. He admits it himself. He says, every time I hear the headset beep on, I get this pit in my stomach.
Yeah, I can imagine. That Pavlovian response almost.
And he clarifies, it's not even about sex, it's about the intimacy. He feels she gave away the fun, the flirty, playful side, the side she used to share with him, to someone else online.
That emotional connection.
Yeah, he ends his whole post with this really poignant thought.
What's that?
Sometimes even fake people can break your real heart.
Wow. Yeah, that really lands. It says it all, doesn't it?
It absolutely captures that tension. The emotional impact is real, regardless of the medium.
It certainly is. And it's something for all of us to chew on, really. As you navigate your own connections, both digital and, real world, maybe consider, how do we define loyalty? What is emotional intimacy when those lines between real and virtual just keep getting blurrier?
It's the big question moving forward, I think.
Definitely something we'll all be grappling with.
I found my grandfather's old box of comics. Turns out one of them is worth $500,000.
You're living a pretty normal life, right? Pittsburgh. And then suddenly, bam, you find something worth almost $500,000.
Just like that.
Pretty much. While cleaning out your grandma's attic. So that's the story we're diving into.
Yeah, it's an incredible find. But what gets me is the everyday context of it all.
Totally.
This wasn't some planned treasure hunt. It was just clearing out the house after she passed.
Right. She was described as a sentimental hoarder.
Exactly. So attic full of memories and this one heavy old trunk.
Okay. So the trunk, what was inside?
Stacks of vintage comic books piled up.
No way. And this revealed something about the grandfather, didn't it?
It really did. Like a whole hidden side. He was apparently known for, falling asleep watching Westerns.
Yeah, and thinking Snapchat was a computer virus or something.
Right. So finding these comics, turns out he was maybe an OG nerd, an original collector.
That's fantastic. It completely changes how you'd picture him.
Definitely. And among all these comics, there was one in particular.
Action Comics #1.
That's the one. First appearance of Superman. Huge deal.
But they must have thought it was a reprint, surely, given the value.
Oh, absolutely. That was the first assumption. But the details kind of gave it away.
Like what?
Well, it smelled old, like ancient old.
Yeah.
And the pages had that specific yellowing.
You know, that 1930s paper look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just screamed authentic. You couldn't really fake that feel, that smell.
So, okay, they have this inkling. This might be the real deal. What happens when they, put pictures online?
Oh, boy. The internet did what the internet does. It exploded.
I bet.
DMs flooding in, offers to buy it straight up, and tons of warnings.
Warnings. Like what?
Like, wear gloves, Don't breathe on it too hard.
Yeah.
People were treating it like it was the Shroud of Turin or something.
Wow. Instant recognition of its potential value
Yeah.
and rarity.
Totally. The collective hive mind knew this was something special and fragile.
Which makes sense. So with all that buzz, what's the next logical step? You can't just sell it on eBay, right?
No, definitely not. They did the smart thing, took it to CGC.
The grading service in New Jersey.
That's the one. Certified Guarantee Company. They're the pros for authenticating and grading comics.
And the verdict must have been nerve-wracking.
I imagine so. The result was actually kind of understated, but huge. It graded it a 6.5.
6.5 on the 10-point scale. That sounds pretty good for something that old.
It's amazing. That grade puts it easily in the top 30 known copies in the world.
Wow. And the value estimate at that point?
Initially, they were looking at around $511,000.
Just unbelievable. But beyond the money, there's this whole reaction, right? Family, friends.
Oh, yeah. People apparently nearly fainted. Long-lost cousins crawling out of the woodwork. You know how it goes.
So how did the person who found it handle that sudden influx of attention and potential wealth?
And this is maybe the most impressive part of the story, honestly.
Yeah.
Instead of going wild, they got practical immediately. Consulted a financial advisor, got a lawyer, even talked to a therapist.
That is incredibly grounded, especially when you suddenly have $500,000 staring you in the face.
Right. It's actually a great lesson for anyone who comes into unexpected money. Get advice. Make a plan.
So they didn't just keep it locked away. They went through with selling it.
They did, through a proper, legitimate auction process.
And the final price.
It closed at $493,800, so very close to that initial estimate.
Still a life-changing amount of money.
Absolutely. And after the auction house fees, taxes, all that stuff.
Yeah, the real world stuff.
And paying off every single debt they had, including, apparently, an old student loan from a semester they dropped.
Huh. Getting rid of that must have felt good.
I bet. Even after all that, there was enough left for a solid down payment on a house, plus a decent emergency fund.
See, that's the key. No Lambo, no quitting the job the next day.
Nope. Just security, stability.
Which allowed for some smaller upgrades?
The best kind. Finally buying the good peanut butter. You know the one?
Oh, I know the one. And fixing the car door.
Yeah. Apparently the old 14 Civic had a door that honked when you closed it. So they fixed the honky door.
That's brilliant. Practical luxuries.
Exactly. Betterment, not just bling.
But there's one more detail, isn't there? Something that makes this whole thing even more special.
There is. And it kind of ties everything together beautifully.
The note.
The note. Taped to the back of the comic book. Written in the grandfather's handwriting.
What did it say?
Just, someday, this might be worth something.
Wow.
If it is, I hope it helps you live a little easier. And then just a little smiley face.
Oh, man. That hits hard. Talk about foresight and love, really.
Right. It transforms it from just a valuable object into this direct message from the past. A grandfather's quiet wish for his family's future.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. Like what little things are tucked away in our family attics or basements or just in plain sight.
Yeah, maybe not Action Comics 101, but...
But maybe other forms of quiet wisdom. Other legacies left behind by people who just hope things would be a little easier for us. What hidden value, what meaning is waiting in the ordinary stuff around us?
Something definitely worth pondering. A great thought to leave folks with until our next deep dive.
I faked an Italian accent on a date. Turns out she's literally from Rome.
We're looking at just one source, but wow, is it memorable. It's a Reddit post from UCalzone disaster. And the title alone tells you a lot. I faked an Italian accent on a date. Turns out she's literally from Rome. So our mission for you today is pretty clear. Let's unpack this. It's a spectacularly bad dating strategy. Why fake it? And what happens when reality just slams the door? Okay, setting the scene. We got a 28-year-old guy, graphic designer, Chicago. His dating life, his words, the desert levels of Mario Kart. So yeah, pretty dry.
Not great.
Not great. But then, hope, he matches with Isabella on Hinge, and her bio, it had this line: "If you can talk pasta with me for an hour, we might be soulmates."
Okay, setting a specific challenge there.
Right. Now, our guy, he loved Italy, he loved the idea of it. Spotify, Italian cooking playlists, wine reviews, that kind of stuff. Never actually been there, though. He even calls himself a poser with a dream. So what is it about that impulse, that desire to, I guess, seem more interesting or worldly?
Well, it's often about trying to connect quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to find common ground or maybe present this idealized version of yourself.
Yeah.
We all polish ourselves up a bit for dating, but faking something like an accent, especially one tied to a culture that's setting yourself up, it's building on shaky ground.
Totally. And he knew it was risky. He called the idea stupid, godforsaken. He actually felt bad before he even got to the restaurant, this Italian place in Logan Square.
Wow. Okay. So he had doubts.
Big time. But he wanted to commit to the bit. The plan was a light Italian accent just for like 5 minutes. A cute joke, he hoped, not,
Not offensive, not full Super Mario, as he put it.
Exactly. He even practiced lines, dressed the part. So he knows it's maybe wrong, but does it anyway. What does that say about the pressure we feel?
Oh, it speaks volumes about the pressure to impress, to be memorable, maybe even to be someone you're not, just to make a connection. But the danger here, the real risk, is when that bit crashes into someone's actual identity. Faking an accent tied to a culture isn't just a joke then. It can feel really disrespectful.
Deeply disrespectful. And that brings us to the moment. He walks in, hits her with his slight Italian lilt. Something like, this place smells like Nana's kitchen.
Oh, no.
Isabella just stares for a beat. Then she smiles and responds in fluent Italian.
Oof. The immediate horror. You can just picture it, can't you?
You really can. The blood draining from his face. And then she asks the killer question, just completely calmly.
What did you say?
She looks at him, maybe a little amused, and asks, "You know I'm from Rome, right?"
Oh, wow. Direct hit.
Total knockout. Born and raised in Rome, speaks 3 languages, has a real Roman accent when she gets excited. And he's faking it. A guy from Evanston?
Yikes. That feeling he describes, eat an entire pizza alone and never leave your apartment again bad.
Yay.
That's visceral. It's that deep shame of being caught, not just in a lie, but in a lie that kind of trivializes who the other person is. It's more than just embarrassment. It's about respect, really.
Absolutely. The rest of the dinner sounds just painfully awkward. He confessed everything, the accent, the playlist, the whole silly plan.
How did she take it?
Apparently, she was pretty gracious, but, understandably bewildered. He said the moment he ordered dessert in Italian was just tragic.
I bet. So if we pull back, what's the big lesson here from his disaster? I think it really hammers home the impact of insincerity, right? Especially when it touches on culture or identity. It shows that being authentic isn't just good advice, it's fundamental respect. Faking it like that, it just erodes trust completely.
Yeah. And Isabella's final words to him kind of summed it up. She said, "You're sweet, very stupid, but sweet."
Brutal honesty, but maybe kind in its own way.
Maybe. Needless to say, no second date. He deleted Hinge. Shay made a lot of rigatoni, apparently.
So for you listening, what's the takeaway? Beyond, maybe don't fake accents on dates. It really highlights how much value there is in just being yourself, warts and all, in any interaction, really.
For sure. And the final thoughts, straight from the source, Calzone disaster himself. Never pretend to be something you're not, especially if what you're pretending to be is literally someone else's nationality. Oh, he adds, and if you must do a fake accent, maybe check where your date is from first. Solid advice. Makes you wonder, though, what other little bits or pretenses might backfire just as badly? Something to think about.
Thanks for being with us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.